Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. It's a good number for the WNBA on an NFL Sunday. However, that was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
Journey is truly remarkable, and as she enters Europe for the first time, everyone is waiting to see how her incredible skills will perform in a completely different environment. Everyone is aware that her entry into the European League has generated more buzz than anyone could have predicted.
She needs to be on a better team.
Please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel as we continue to explore her first game. Let's examine the highlights of Caitlyn Clark's European debut in more detail. You won't want to miss any of it. Caitlyn Clark is a rising basketball star who is becoming well-known both domestically and internationally. Her appeal has increased to the point where fans swarm the stands whenever she makes a three-pointer, a no-look pass, or a buzzer beater, winning over many people outside of America.
Backs out Nelson Adota. Clark will fire and hit the three.
It's not just about her goals. It's also about how thrillingly she plays. She is fast. In a society that yearns for exhilarating experiences, brave and fiercely competitive, Caitlyn Clark genuinely pleases her European followers. Her presence is akin to a dream realized. In my opinion, Barcelona Basket has signed the most well-known figure in women's basketball, and they understand her importance completely. It is an uncommon opportunity for a player of Clark's caliber to travel across the Atlantic to play in Europe, and the Spanish fans were giddy with anticipation for weeks as they talked about her debut game and the enthusiasm she would bring to their league. Barcelona's Basket F. A lot.
Recuperar el Sant Adrià.
Sí, això és minibàsquet, tenen 12 anys i han de passar aquestes coses, el seu ritme és altíssim i no és fàcil prendre decisions, però el més important és que tots els equips...
Long before she took the court, the stadium was crowded with supporters shouting her name and waving banners. But Caitlyn Clark's story represents more than just the fans or the sport. It represents the rise of women's basketball players, who now have the opportunity to become international stars rather than just being known in their home country.
WNBA and the fact that NBA investors, actual NBA investors and owners, that would really be owners, are none too happy right now. And in fact, there's speculation that some of the financials are being possibly hidden even from the owners by the NBA and maybe Adam Silver.
As she stepped onto the Barcelona floor for the first time, it became evident that women's basketball had a brighter future than ever before. When the Basque family chose to pursue Caitlyn Clark, they were fully aware of the decision they were making. It was a planned strategy to elevate the entire European Women's Basketball League to new heights, and was not just about the game of basketball.
Listen, she's a rookie. It's going to happen whatsoever, but there's a lot of people that spent a long time building this league into what it is.
For many years, the men's teams in Europe have garnered all the attention, but now that Clark has joined the Barcelona women's team, they are ready to make their own mark in history. They believed they had discovered a unique player who only comes along once every generation and has the ability to take them to a new level.
I thought we responded really well, and Penn State went on some runs, and we seemed to always have an answer, and you got to give credit. I thought Sydney was great. I thought Kylie was great. I thought Taylor was great. You got to step up when your teammates go down, obviously playing without Molly Davis. But I think the biggest key for us was to defend the three-point line.
The club's executives moved swiftly and forcefully, showcasing Clark's image on everything from enormous billboards to colorful social media messages. So Barcelona wasn't just selling tickets. They were starting a movement.
Square. Take a look. This Nike billboard honors the all-time NCAA Division I scoring leader. It features the caption, "This was never a long shot."
Long lines of people excitedly waited to watch their new idol, and there was a lot of excitement in the air when Clark eventually onto the court. It soon became evident that this was more than simply a game. It was about making European history. Beyond just Barcelona's loyal fans, fans from the charming streets of France to the bustling marketplaces of Turkey were glued to screens, eager to see Clark take her first steps onto the European scene. The WNBA has long been the pinnacle of women's basketball, but a significant change occurred the moment Clark arrived in Europe. Due to the genius of one exceptional athlete, European teams found themselves in the public eye and acknowledged in ways they had never before thought possible.
Oh, the Sue Bird, Curly Sue!
Even though they weren't competing against Clark, the atmosphere in Hungary was electrifying as STUNS-based fans exploded with excitement. Her presence was felt beyond the court, and social media was ablaze with posts, memes, and videos that praised her. Conversations about the significance of having such a well-known athlete in the European League women's basketball, which had previously existed in the background but was rapidly rising to prominence and capturing hearts and attention, were prevalent during the monumental arrival. Meanwhile, Fener-based fans in Turkey, who are known for their ardor and devotion, were equally enthralled, despite the fact that they might not have been present at Clark's debut in person. They were closely monitoring every detail from a distance. As the management of Fenerbahce was already planning how to potentially recruit a talent like Clark in the upcoming seasons, it became evident that Clark's influence extended far beyond borders, igniting passion all over the continent. However, amid the excitement of her first game in Europe, one question remains. Will Clark live up to the enormous expectations? She is not just an ordinary player. She's changed what it means to succeed in women's basketball.
Indiana Fever select Caitlyn Clark, University of Iowa.
Despite her impressive accomplishments during her time at Iowa and her brief stint in the WNBA, the European League poses a fresh challenge. The rules of the game are different. The play is more aggressive and the pressure feels heavier, but Caitlyn Clark has a remarkable talent for handling pressure. In fact, she embraces it with open arms. Her confidence on the court is something to behold. Whether she is speeding through defenders to score or sinking three-pointers from way beyond the arc, she plays with a boldness that makes her an opponent's nightmare. The opposing defense attempted every strategy to lessen her impact in her first game in Europe, but it was immediately clear that Clark had a specific goal. Caitlyn Clark is not just a household name on the basketball court. Her impact extends well beyond that. In Europe, she has the potential to have a huge economic impact, from skyrocketing ticket sales to an increase in retail sales. Clark is more than just a player. She is a powerful brand, and as a result, people are scurrying to stores to buy her jerseys, and demand for tickets to see her perform has skyrocketed.
6:49 your time right now. The Caitlyn Clark effect is coming to North Texas. In just hours, tickets go on sale to see the college basketball history maker in her first game in the WNBA.
She makes her debuts in the pros against the Dallas Wings, and that game is expected to sell out quickly.
Barcelona is already feeling the effects. Sales of season tickets for BASF Money have not only, they have doubled, and as a result, their social media presence has taken off, amassing followers at a never-before-seen pace. Local businesses around the stadium are also benefiting, with hotels and restaurants reporting frenzied activity on game days. Clark's arrival has sparked basketball in Barcelona, and the city's economic recovery is only getting started. However, the magic is not limited to Barcelona. It is spreading throughout European women's basketball, which is seeing a thriving renaissance as teams improve their marketing plans and sign more sponsorship deals. As Europe warmly welcomes Caitlyn Clark, her influence has brought the league to a new level of notice, and the financial benefits are evident and indisputable. The WNBA is now in a confused position, thinking back on its mistakes. Losing a great player like Clark is not just a small setback, it is a huge loss for the league. She was supposed to be the guiding light of the WNBA's future and the engine that would bring about a dynamic new era, but now that she is gone, the league is struggling to change its course.
Caitlyn Clark, last night, finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing up.
Fans have already voiced their concerns. Many are worried about the league's future since they think the WNBA missed their chance to keep Clark, and the number of spectators has been declining. Clark will attract large audiences. Clark's departure feels like a nail in the coffin because of the intense competition the WNBA faces from European leagues and the growing fear that even more fans may leave.
What's wrong with the WNBA? What's wrong with diversity, equity, and inclusion? What's wrong with this race agenda? What's wrong with this Black Queens agenda? After what she did at Iowa her senior year, I started saying, hey, I think she's going to be the biggest star in sport.
The WNBA has many talented players who can still guide the league forward, so there is some hope that things will improve. However, one thing is very clear. The loss of Caitlyn Clark serves as a vital reminder that the WNBA must embrace transformative change if it hopes to keep its best players and prevent them from pursuing opportunities overseas. Caitlyn Clark is a shining example of Caitlyn Europe leaves everyone wondering what will happen next. Will she rejoin the WNBA or decide to fortify her legacy abroad? At this point, Clark is committed to making the most of her time in Europe, but the future is uncertain, and fans everywhere are eager to see where she'll go next.
Couldn't make up my mind. Like, the amount of conversations we had about it was almost too many in a way, but it's a big decision, so it's like not one you want to mess up. I think the main things about Iowa that I liked is, one, doing something special that's never been done before. I think that was super important to me.
One thing we can be certain of is that wherever Caitlyn goes, there will always be a lot of excitement and energy behind her. Whether she is playing in the WNBA, Europe, or somewhere else in the world, Clark always leaves a lasting impression on the basketball scene, and her loyal fans will support her wherever she plays, advancing her legacy. Increasing in size.
The reason there's almost 10,000 people here.
Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark.
Let's enjoy this amazing voyage together for the time being. Caitlyn Clark is a unique talent that only makes appearances once every few years, and her journey is only beginning. Whether she ends up in Europe or her native nation, her story is still to be written, full of exciting surprises and surprising terms. Basketball fans everywhere are going to enjoy an incredible experience, and we're eager to see what comes next. Although Clark is widely regarded as one of the best women's basketball players in history, the exciting reality is that she has only just begun, and the entire world is the tale of Caitlyn Clark will continue to develop as long as she is carrying a basketball. But one thing is certain: wherever she goes, people will be watching her, and we will be there to support every incredible moment.
Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires and goes! She hit it! Wow!
Around the world, fans are giddy with excitement, anticipating what will happen next. Will Clark continue to rule Europe like she did in the US? And how will her influence change the face of women's basketball globally? Whether you are a WNBA fanatic or just starting out, these fascinating topics will be at the heart of our investigation in the coming weeks and months. If you enjoyed our in-depth analysis of Caitlyn Clark's first steps in Europe, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. We will continue to bring you the most recent updates, highlights, and insights about the most significant figures in women's basketball. If you want to learn more about the world of European basketball, this experience is one that you must not miss. Keep your eyes open because the most exciting moments are still to come.